So, hello again. Today's story takes me back about 40 years when I was traveling with a friend in the north of Europe and got to the place where basically the road ends. And we walked from Nikolaukta to Kiruna, which is in the very, very north of what is called Lapland, between the very north of Norway and Finnmark. And on one of the days of walking, we arrived at a house in the middle of nowhere, and this man came out, and we couldn't really talk much. But his daughter knew a bit of English, and she helped. And he told us we could stay and put up our tent in his yard. And so we stayed the night, and in the morning he invited us in to see his magic place, or where he does his shamanic work. And he's one of those who was still doing the ancient rituals using the magic drum. Now, the magic drum is something that each shaman prepares for himself, using wood which he hollows out from a tree, and then stretching over it a piece of parchment, of leather, that he takes from an animal, on which he draws shamanic symbols. Now, each shaman has his own magic drum with very specific symbols on it. For some, it is more to do with how they visit in the spirit world. For others, it's to encourage healing. And what they do is they use this drum. It's usually an oval shape, and it's about this size. And they use a piece of horn from an antler to beat on it, and they put little bones upon it. And as they beat in this very rhythmic, shamanic music, they go into a trance. And as they go into the trance, the little bones are dancing along on this drum, pointing to different symbols. And as he goes into the trance, he's actually going into the spirit world, where he can ask for knowledge or assistance or answers to somebody's questions or healing. And he was showing me around and looking kind of at me. And his daughter said he'd like to say something to me. Now, I was about 20 years old and not really so much into spirit worlds. And he said that I have a gift to do with healing. And he wants to give me something. He wants to give me a magic drum that will be with my symbols and devoted to the healing in the spirit world. Now, for me, I was young and stupid, and I said, I couldn't carry this big drum with me. He looked at me, and then he took the parchment off of the drum, and he gave it to me. And this here is actually my magic drum. It's on leather, on a parchment, and every symbol here has a meaning. I later tried to find what they mean, and I couldn't. That's 40 years ago. Nowadays, on Google, you can find what each symbol represents. And this is definitely to do with a visit in the spirit worlds, to be in contact with healing aspects. How did he know? I'm always amazed. And he was making these artifacts from reindeer leather and antlers and really beautiful things. I'll show you a few pictures in a minute. So Laris, Sunna, he was quite old then. It's 40 years ago. He's probably in the spirit world. I hope you can hear me now as I tell the story, because this magic drum has been very close to my heart ever since. And every so often I take it out and look at the symbols, and today I understand much more about them. And I understand much more about what you were trying to say to me. So thank you for letting us put the tent up in your backyard. And thank you for what you saw that I had no idea about yet. And yeah, thank you to all those shamans who have kept up this kind of tradition for thousands of years. And some of them are in North Russia, and some of them in the north of Norway and in the north of Finland, in these areas that are really hard to get to. And they really keep it to themselves. But I had a moment with this person, and it's very dear to me. So just a short story I thought to share with you.